Hey everybody, it's me. It's Friday here in Bicester, Oxfordshire, the UK, and it's just a kind of a personal WLS update. So if you're my brothers and sisters and you don't want to hear me talk about my inner stuff, just change now. I'll try to put it in the title so it's easier for you not to bother. Um, I just wanted to share some. I woke up about 2:30 this morning and I couldn't sleep for a couple hours, so I came downstairs, got online, went back upstairs, fell asleep for about a half an hour, and it kind of threw me off all day. But I just wanted to share something that I realized today is I found myself getting very pent up and very. It's been a month since I haven't had a car, and I haven't missed it honestly, but now I'm starting to get a little like there's some places I'd like to go, look at something to maybe purchase, which is another cross addiction to want to go buy something. Um, and I just finally propelled myself out of the chair, of which I watched two programs that were about an hour and a half each in length, and I never watched TV during the day. But of course they were British television, so they were all the more interesting. Anyway, I walked, and as I walked, that reality of that voice in my head came to me. Wherever you go, there you are. Have you guys heard that before? Is that a Dr. Seuss thing? Wherever you go, there you are. Yes, well, you can't escape yourself. And whether you are realizing that in the middle of your journey of trying to lose weight by whatever means, or it just dawns on you one day, wherever you go, there you are. You cannot escape yourself. And if you don't learn the skills, which now I'm trying to, when it comes up in your face like that, you have to process, you have to learn. And thank God that He is gracious to not make me have to learn everything at one time, that everybody thinks you got it all together, you're good, you're moving along, and then this little stuff will start to. And so today, my test was um, are you going to like claw at your skin because you're going nuts and you need to get out of the house and you have no one to call to say, hey, what are you doing? Why don't you take me to the shopping and let's go out and do something? There isn't anybody for me to call to do that. Um, I mean, I'm making progress, and to run out and just distract my mind because I'm a little bored um, is not, you can get by with that for so many years, and eventually you've got to face yourself. Wherever you go, there you are. And whether, before we might have faced it with running into the kitchen to stimulate something there, or run out and find some inappropriate activity somewhere on the outside of the world, or go shopping. Um, it's one of those things. Some people that are a little ADD, and I tend to be I mean, if they didn't call it that, I probably could say it was whatever that was. Um, the bottom line is you've got to learn how to be still and quiet within yourself. Now, I do know how to do that, but it's much harder to stop yourself and redirect yourself when you're like that. So, today I went out the door, took a walk, didn't really want to take a walk, didn't really feel like taking a walk, knew I probably needed to pump iron, didn't feel like doing that. But I know it's sort of like when you have a 2-year old and they're driving you crazy and you have to keep distracting them because they keep wanting to touch the wrong thing, like we would like to put food in our mouths. Um, when you think about it, and you try to redirect that 2-year old from the behavior you would like them to stop, to forget about trying to touch the hot stove. Let's go over here, or try to take so and so's toy away from them. Let's go over here and let's distract them with some bright, colorful little other object. That's kind of the what goes on with me sometimes, and so. I mean, I think that's when cross addictions happen for people that have. That sounds like such an official medical term, but we're always looking for something to fill the void, aren't we? Yeah. So I'm good for a while, and then I get a little crazy. So anyway, I took a walk. It was good. At first, it was a real flesh effort, like get out there and take those steps and listen to that peppy music and walk and strut your stuff as you walk down the street, whatever. And then eventually, I thought, oh, this is boring, and I'm just doing this. I'm plodding along, and then I hit a path not taken, and just finding that one little piece of path not taken really helps me. And then I just sort of get lost in the beauty of what's around me that's undiscovered. So I just wanted to encourage everybody. You know, I may still be at goal, and actually, it's been a month since I haven't had a scale. Over a month. I haven't had seen my scale since the middle of June. And by the time I see it again, it'll be the after the first week of August. I think we're getting in our house on the 8th, and I guess our goods will come coinciding with that day, the next day, whatever. So I haven't seen a scale. And so in the beginning, that kind of disturbed me. It was a freedom, but yet, then I thought maybe I'd blown up a lot when I first got here. And actually, I think I had, but that's probably just the travel and then I feel like my body is, and then I stop thinking about it and I just do what I do and eat how I eat. I try to make sure I walk every day. Easily, I have to walk every day or I might get a screw loose right here. Um, so I feel like my body has found its comfortable place again, without fixating on whatever the number is, up, down, or in between, which is a really healthy place to find yourself when you didn't think you could do that. Um, when you really relied on that scale, even if you put it in the science experiment category where you kind of thought, okay, today's the day it's up a tiny bit, so you just pay really good attention to what you're doing. Well, without that little science experiment monitor for yourself, it really is back what I used to do, all process. So I just basically eat healthy. Today, I ate healthy, but I did have 2 pieces of bread for breakfast. I just was craving, it's that craving thing, crunchy toast. Had some peanut butter on one. I had some cream cheese, light cream cheese and tomatoes on the other, but I really was hungry. I hadn't had much dinner, and we walked the night before for about 4 miles. So I'm trying to listen to my body. And if my body is getting antsy, I know it's saying, get me out into the fresh air and sunshine, Sally, before I do something you don't want me to do, like eat something really horrible. And speaking of eating something really horrible, let me share something I did last night. We walked with the little Ramblers group last night. Let me turn this music down. I don't want to get, like hit with YouTube telling me I can't put my video up. Okay, sorry. In case you could hear that, I didn't want to hear any copyright infringement issues. Um, Last night we walked, Steve and I, with the Ramblers. It was a much faster pace than Tuesday when we did it, when I did it with the ladies in the field. It was just around town, but it was great. And it was where I'd already been one time, but with a few variations. So that was fun. So afterwards, about almost when we were back, I started to have, I'll be honest, I was having a late stage dumping issue. And I didn't want to say anything to these people. And I said to Steve, I said, I don't feel right. I need some sugar. So we just plot. I mean, I pushed through, and I'm telling you, that was grit. I don't always have to pull it up, but I did because I thought I am not sitting down on the curb and tell these people who have no clue what's going on that I've got something wrong with me. I started to sweat. My whole head was dripping sweat. This is what happens with late stage dumping for me. And my back was dripping sweat. I don't sweat, people, hardly ever. And just lately here, I've been sweating those few hot days we've had. Um, Anyway, we made it through back to the place we started. I said, I need some sugar. I need to have something. Let's just go into the little co-op, which is like a 7-Eleven, but really nicer. And I was going to get some ice cream. I said, well, let's get some ice cream. That'll be a nice treat. Well, I looked at that ice cream and I opened that thing and I read every label and I started to pull one out and I go, yeah, I really don't want this. I put it back. And I read another. I put it back. So Steve finally goes up to the checkout. I say, go into the checkout. I'll be right up with something. I put it back. I could not, in good conscience, eat the crap because it was all artificial. It wasn't that I didn't want some ice cream, because I did. Um, but the whole ice cream, the good ice cream, was 100%, 150% fat. And it would have been delicious, but it would have made me so sick. More than a third of a cup, I would have been sick. The fake stuff was so fake and had so much crap sugar in it. Low fat, yes. Fake ice cream, yes. And sugar crap added to it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I put it back. So we came home and happy to report I had some frozen bananas in the freezer. I threw them in the blend tech with some protein powder or some protein drink that I had, and whipped these things up for Steve and I. We had the most delicious banana like milkshakes I've ever had, and they tasted so good, and I felt so good because I ate the right thing. So anyway, I've shared enough. 10 minutes later, I'm still talking. Blah, 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 blah. That's it for my report. For Sally's having a little mini meltdown today, and I will survive, and so will you. And don't forget, wherever you go, you're there. So learn to deal with yourself, people. I love you. Have a great weekend. I plan on it. We'll give you a report next week.